something that's emerged in this conversation, a few headlines that are coming together. The one is, we can view from a systems point of view a city as a dynamic living entity, which is complex, number one. Number two, a better future, an interpretation of a better future is afforded us through the SDGs. It's another headline. And the third is actually something you alluded to in that paper, which I didn't quote. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you alluded to the idea that a city may in fact be something positive as it evolves going forward. And that's, to my mind, in stark contrast to the view that we should be working heavily on deurbanization. We should be working heavily on reforestation. Not to say that those things aren't necessary in certain contexts, but it's been absolutized almost in certain contexts where the net position is that cities are a bad thing. So those three headlines: cities are a complex living organism. The SDGs are a future we may want to consider. Thirdly, a city may in fact be a positive, emerging, evolving organism. I highlight those three things as context for a question. And that question is, what could a better, taking those three things into consideration, those three headlines, what could a better city future look like?
I wish I came up with this idea, Dominic. I really didn't. It really kind of hits you in the face the moment you look at it systemically. If you do a kind of even a very crude scientific method here, and you compare the phenomenon of cities with the absence of cities, the absence of cities is not the absence of humans. So cities are in fact a highly efficient way of organizing human life on Earth. The fact that there's a higher degree of density, it may not be terribly palatable to everybody, but that has a dramatically beneficial impact on the environment. I think I might be attacked for this, but think about it systemically. What is the alternative? The alternative, for example, is that if you don't have this centralization, that you have this dispersal of 7.7 billion people all around the planet who are all degrading the natural environment wherever they happen to find themselves. So cities give us a higher degree of efficiency that may, in fact, paradoxically, typical of systems thinking, counterintuitively, give us a more efficient treatment of the planet. So the impact on the planet does not come from the fact that we have cities. It comes from the fact that we have humans. The cities are a very efficient way of organizing those humans, and increasingly we're becoming smarter at how those hubs can be organized.
Get it. So cities are, to use a word, they could paradoxically assist us to accelerate the kinds of futures that we want, because all the bad stuff, as well as a lot of the good stuff, but all the bad stuff is concentrated.
That's exactly right.
Aggregated throughout, the vast landmass, the other 98% of the world, which would make anything from sequestration to waste management to all sorts of ills much more difficult to manage.
It would make it impossible. Can you imagine humans distributed evenly across Earth and polluting every little water spot they happen to engage with?